Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Nightmask, issue 8. This is from the New Universe title, obviously. This issue was written by Archie Goodwin, Keith Giffen, penciler, Rick Bryant, inker, Agustin Mas was the letterer, Andy Yanchus was the colorist, Mike Rockwitz was the editor. So Justice is hunting Nightmask, and Keith is worried about his sister, and it looks like Nightmask just eliminates the doctor and his Latina friend, and then he comes after Teddy and Keith. Keith is on the run and he sees this skinhead guy who keeps evading him throughout the story. He eventually figures out that this is actually a nightmare and that he picked it up from this skinhead guy who had seen Justice kill someone in issue 1 of Justice. And the only way to escape is for Keith to kind of come to terms with his survivor's guilt. It's a pretty good story. The art is a little rough. It's definitely not Keith Giffen's best work, but it's definitely not his worst either. Some of the panels are awesome. Others are a little rough. But if you like Keith Giffen's art, you'll probably like this more than I did. And overall, I do like his work. It's just not his best work. So I thought it was a decent read. It was a good story. The art had a few spots that were pretty rough, but otherwise it was a good installment. It was better than last issue, and I'm looking forward to reading the next issue. So the cover does kind of relate to what's going on, and it is a really cool cover. I do like that one quite a bit, but it's not really a team-up book. It's not really Justice versus Nightmask in the most literal sense. It's more of Keith dealing with some personal trauma, and Justice is just the manifestation of that. It was a really interesting story from a psychological standpoint, but it is a bit pop psychology, but it was still a fun read. So if you can find it for less than the price of a regular issue on the newsstands, I would say pick it up. I thought it was a fun read, and I do like the character of Nightmask, and Justice seems pretty interesting. I haven't read Justice in 30 years, so I'm not real familiar with it off the top of my head, but I remember the idea being interesting. So this made me want to go and pick up some Justice issues. I do have all of the series, I just haven't read them yet, and that'll be coming eventually, but this did make me want to read those. So I'm looking forward to reading the next issue of Nightmask, and I'd give this a solid recommendation. Definitely a fun read, and worth the $2 I paid for my copy. And if you can find it for less than the cover price of a regular issue, I'd say pick this up instead, because most stuff on the shelves now is crap, and this was a lot of fun. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.